Good morning, Dr. Carlos Sanchez here with the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, mytexaschamber.org. This is our daily broadcast where we bring you information, news, tips, and different things that you can utilize to hopefully further your business and keep yourself alive and keep yourself moving forward. That is the message of the day for sure. It's stay alive, do the best you can. We're not sure right now exactly how this whole thing is going to play out. We do know that today at noon, Governor Abbott, the governor of Texas, is going to be rolling out his plan for reopening the state of Texas. The bigger cities like Houston, where I'm in, or Dallas or San Antonio or El Paso, big cities, we hope will open as fast as possible, but I'm not sure we can open as fast as a lot of people think, because there's some things that need to be in place first. I'm not sure if as a Chamber of Commerce I would be comfortable hosting meetings and asking our members to come out and enjoy an afternoon of networking if I don't know that all of us are safe. So hopefully we'll put in the mechanisms that are needed to feel safe and to get out and do the networking and the things we need to do business. Other things will be open, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of that, because that's exactly what all of us need, to stay alive and to continue doing business. So I want to encourage you to think about the things you've got to do to stay alive, regardless. If we can't open your establishment right now, what can you do to stay virtual? What can you do to stay in front of your customers? What can you do to be relevant even in these times? There are companies, there are organizations that can support you with this. And then there's other ones that have no choice. They've got to be in front of people. I'm thinking about a lot of the trades. Most of them are essentials, so it's okay that they are still out there. Just be really careful. Make sure that you take care of yourself. So we did a seminar yesterday. We had a monthly meeting yesterday at the Vintage Park Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and so there were about 20 people at this meeting through Zoom, because that's all we're doing now. And we were able to identify some things you can do if you want to be more successful on that platform. Remember, for a lot of people, it's going to be how they're going to conduct business from now on for a long time, at least until they feel comfortable and they feel safe to go out. I know there's other folks who say, well, I don't care, I'm going to go out anyway, I'm not afraid, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with how you feel. It's just what level of contact do you have with others, and how dangerous can that be for you or for your family? That's the question I ask myself. But here are the top 3 things that came up yesterday with regard to your success on a platform like Zoom or Skype or all these other ones that are out there right now, GoToMeeting, things like that. The first one is always keep in mind your image, what you look like. A lot of folks show up to these meetings and they're still kind of wearing pajamas, or they're wearing hats, or they look like they just rolled out of bed and they're at a business meeting and they want me to give them business, and they say, choose me. I'm the right person for you to talk to about X or Y, right? I'm your financial planner, or I'm your realtor, I'm your guy. And they looked at like they're still cleaning the garage and they just dropped into our meeting just to check it out. Guys, really watch that, because just like face-to-face meetings, people look at your image and look at what you look like and make decisions based on that within about 4 or 5 seconds. So it's really amazing that still applies. Even though you're by yourself, nobody's talking to you, nobody's saying anything to you. Nobody knows that you're wearing pajamas from the waist down. But from the waist up, at least look like a business person, because that does make a difference, and people do watch that. So that was number 1, is to make sure you check your image. What do you look like when you're on Skype or on Zoom or on all these other platforms? Because people are looking at you before they decide to do business with you. They'll look at you and size you up. So that's number 1. Sorry about that. The second one, of course, is your lighting. That comes also with what you look like. If your lighting is not good, or if it's not reasonable, then you'll look really dark. You'll look like a ghost, and in most cases, you'll lose credibility. That's a big deal. So the way to think of it is this: It's got to be you, your camera, and then the light. The light has to be behind the camera, not in front of the camera, or not behind you. If the light is behind you, the light that's projected onto your face makes you darker, right? So look at your lighting and make sure. If you have light behind you, it's terrible. Some people put their cameras right at the window, and so when they point the camera to themselves, all we can see really is the lighting above them, which is the lighting of the room, and that makes for a bad image. Remember, all your image, it matters, it counts, and people really, really watch that. The second big thing that people talked about yesterday with regards to what makes you not successful on Skype, on Zoom, and everything else is your audio. What do you sound like? If you don't have access to a microphone, I'm not using a microphone, but I do the best I can to enunciate my words and to sound relaxed and to pause my speed, because if I speak too fast or if I don't pronounce words correctly, people will misunderstand me, or they simply won't understand me. They'll just tune me out. There's so much distraction, like, somebody's coming to see me, or what's going on around me, and so if they can't understand you and you don't look right, forget it. They're not going to favor you. And remember, the idea is just to do the best you can to stay relevant, to stay visible, to stay in front of your customers or your prospects. The final point we have for you today with regard to this is that you do the best you can to stay proactive on your platform. And what that means is that when you go to a meeting, when you set up a meeting or you're part of a meeting on Zoom or on any one of these platforms, get involved. Do the best you can to support the host, but also get involved with the different participants. Say hello to them, talk to them, things like that. And then get there early, but also leave late so you can be a part of the whole thing. Don't just show up and from far away look at people and then look at them like this, and because I can see all of that. Remember, your image really matters. When people do this, it's kind of amazing, but they they're drinking and then they stand up and they walk around and they're not involved. They're not really participating until we ask them a question, and then they say, "Oh my God, they asked me something," and now you've got to get back involved and find out what's going on. That whole seriousness, guys, all that matters because you're in a business meeting. Unless you're in a social meeting, it might be a little different. If you're Zooming or if you're WhatsApping or something with your family and your friends, it's different, right? But when you're in a business meeting and you're the one that's vying for attention in your field, let's say you're a realtor, an exterminator, a masseuse, whatever you do, you want to be the one people favor, and the way you do that is by showing the most professional image possible. Okay, so let me tell you about a few businesses that are outstanding in our Chamber of Commerce. Of course, if you want to be a part of our Chamber of Commerce, you may. mytexaschamber.org. You can go to our website, or you can text me directly, drc@mytexaschamber.org, and I'm happy to give you information about joining our Chamber of Commerce. The point of our chamber and the point of these Facebook Lives is basically to give you information, to make our chamber members visible, to let you know we're in business, that we're still doing business, that there are people selling homes, selling cars, they're still seeing them, their patients, their doctors, their chiropractors, dentists, and so forth. They're still doing business. They're all being very careful, but they're not out of business. There's thousands of small business owners right now who are out there trying to figure out what to do. And this is our little way of helping our members and of helping you just stay visible. Let people know that you exist. Okay, so the first thing is, if you're trying to figure out the whole IRS, SBA situation, we have a member who's a CPA. He does our accounting. He does the accounting for a lot of other people, other members. His name is Tracy Smith. Tracy Smith can talk to you about organizing your documentation. I know that the SBA right now is out of money, so a lot of our members, even close members, applied for loans and applied to try to get some help, and they were turned down because apparently the government is out of money. What a surprise. So the latest news is that the government is going back to Congress for more money. And just be ready, guys. If this happens, be ready. Have your documents ready. Have everything in line. And the way to do that is maybe you consult with someone who knows how to do it, who can help you do it and get it done faster, so that when it's time to jump, you fly onto it. There was another loan package that was offered here in the greater Harris County area in North Houston, and that was gone like in 24 hours. And it was like $100 million. It's unbelievable how fast money is going. And, in part, I think it's because every small business is worried about keeping their employees and about figuring out how to pay the bills and about how to meet their responsibilities. So, Tracy Smith is the guy. He's our accountant. He's our CPA. He's the person that can help you put together your package so that when the time is right, you can go after a loan. If you are having trouble with the emotional aspect of all of this, if you know someone who's on the brink or who's giving up hope or looking for the way out and not necessarily talking to anyone, you can call this number. It's a community-based organization that gives you free counseling. It's 832-986-1919. 832-986-1919. They can talk to you about any kind of emotional sort of thing that's going on in your family, in your life, and help you navigate these times, because right now everybody is going through loss and everybody is going through the stunning sort of realization that we're not going to be touching each other for a little while, and so we need to be really aware, and that's very traumatic. So 832-986-1919. They can talk to you about that. I think they are bilingual. All right, another one of our businesses is sorry guys, Texas Last Diet. Texas Last Diet will talk to you about your eating and about what you need to do to strengthen your immune system. So if you are concerned about your weight maybe a little bit, or if you're concerned maybe that you're not as healthy as you can be, give them a call, set an appointment, have them measure your body, have them give you some consulting, some coaching on the right diet. I know that they helped me. They've helped people lose hundreds of pounds here in the Woodlands and the greater Houston area, and they can help you. The number is 832-791-3438. 832-791-3438. Texas Last Diet, Vicki LeBeau, she's one of our members you can talk to. All right? So those are the businesses we have. Just going back to the original point I had when I started this broadcast, remember that right now it's about you staying in front of your customers. It's about you surviving and thriving here during these times. So the best way to do that is begin to sharpen your ability to do this kind of work, to have a good presence on social media, have a good presence on Zoom or on whatever format you're using to do video conferencing, and make sure you look at it seriously to project the best and most positive image. So a couple of things we said: look at the way you look at, how you dress, no hats, no pajamas, do the best you can to give yourself, I do a blank backdrop just because I don't have anywhere, I don't have big shelves or anything like that. I think that it's better to be blank than to have backwards signs, because a lot of people put signs and they don't look right. So make sure you look at your image. What do you look like when you're projecting yourself onto social media? By all means, be on time, be early, and stay involved, okay? So, I'm Dr. Carlos Sanchez. This is the Hispanic Chamber Member Update. We do this every day. Just talk to you about little things, about things happening in our chamber. Today we have, at 12 o'clock, we have Debbie Dykes is going to be talking to us about networking at this age. So she's a professional networker. She owns a company called Network in Action, which is here in the Conroe, Montgomery County area. So she runs several groups. She's a professional networker, and she's going to talk to us about networking. And so you can learn a few things. Just ask for the codes, and I'm happy to share them with you. You can be a part of this as a guest today at 12 noon. So it's going to be from 12 to about 1 o'clock today. And then we'll go from there, okay? So stay involved, stay in touch. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys Monday. Bye-bye.